Hello, dear explorers. My name is Adela. I'm an astrologer and the Gene Keys guide. And today I'm going to present you the video about the archetype of Gemini. So, if you are a Gemini, if your sun is in Gemini, or if your moon is in Gemini, your rising or personal planets in Gemini, well, this video is for you, dedicated for you. I started this series about certain archetypes in astrology because when working with the chart and with archetypes, I guess looking at an archetype is very important, the features of that archetype. And many times, maybe we are not Geminis, but maybe we have other planets in Gemini, so we can feel that energy activated. This is why I'm saying, no matter what your personal planets in Gemini are, this video is for you. So I'm going to point out some features I found to be common in most Geminis, most people having the archetype of the Gemini. I will start by saying that I'm very enthusiastic about making this video because it's one of my favorite signs. I know a lot of Geminis and it's one of the signs I admire most. And what I admire about Geminis is their capacity to use their mind. They have a beautiful mind. There are two signs in the zodiac that use their mind a lot. And that two signs are Gemini and Virgos, because they are ruled by Mercury. So I will start by saying that the most important planet when talking about Gemini is Mercury. What does Mercury do? Mercury is the planet of communication and of intelligence and of commerce and that kind of witty intelligence of business. So let's start with the first point in the Gemini energy, and that is the brilliant mind, the intelligence, the absolute sparkly intelligence. So wherever your Gemini is in your chart, it shows this capacity to use your mind very quickly, to have an agile mind that needs a lot of activity, a lot of new ideas all the time. This mind can be tricky because many times the Gemini and Virgos can be trapped in their own mind, having a lot of ideas, running from one idea to the other, not having enough patience to stay there and to get the idea into something concrete. But the mind is brilliant. So in case you are a Gemini or know people that are Geminis, use their mind, work with their mind, be dynamic, like dance with their brain. They need that kind of stimulation and they need smart partners with which they can play a lot with the mind. The second point I find very relevant for this archetype is their kind of intelligence in business. They usually have the sense for making business, not necessarily being very much into money, like having a passion for money as some other signs have, but they usually can smell the business opportunity, can sense the business opportunities. They can feel, is this okay or not? Is this trendy or not? Is this, will this go nice in the public or not? Why is that? Because Mercury is also the planet of commerce. Hermes is a communicator and is also one that is associated with commerce. And when we speak about commerce and the business abilities, we go to this point of communication that Gemini have. They are the ones who take the information from one place and give it to the other place. Many times that is a very precious resource in commerce and in making business. So in case you have Gemini placements, treat them with respect and try to see the abilities of that placement to make business and to open areas for business in other people's life too. The third point I wanted to tell about in Geminis is their duality. I know that's common. Everyone talks about the duality of Geminis. It's a sign that has two parts. So one stuff I always saw in my clients that have Gemini archetype activated is this kind of dual nature. They have two beings in the same in the same time in themselves. Many times they use this kind of joke like today it's the good Gemini or the bad Gemini, depending depending who you are talking to, which part of them you are talking to. So what is interesting here is that this duality is, in a way, wanting to see the reality from different points. So they might, as they are associated with a trickster, they might trick you. They might, play with your mind. They might work with parts of you just to see you in different ways and to see themselves in different ways. This is why I'm telling about the importance of having both sides, keeping that balance between both sides. So it's a very natural, like, dual essence, a very mutable dual essence. They can be good with you one week, not so good with you the other week, and it's in their nature to be like that. So these 3 points are the ones I saw in almost all the charts I played with. I use the word play because play is a very Gemini-like word. Playing and curiosity are very characteristic to this placement. And what I want to conclude with is that usually Gemini have this kind of Peter Pan energy. They like to explore. The Gemini archetype, the place where you have Gemini in your chart, and I will in a second share my screen and see how the Gemini can look in a chart. The place where you have the Gemini show where you are curious, where you want to explore, where do you have that vivid capacity of the mind, where do you want to use your mind, and where can you make business with? How do you earn, how do you make that potential be there in the world and even make business? So I'll share a chart, my chart. It's simple to use my example here. So as you see, I'm not a Gemini. I don't have my sun in Gemini or my rising or my moon, but I have two planets in Gemini, two quite important ones. So the Gemini archetype is activated. Even in your charts, take a look. What planets activate your Gemini archetype? Where is it in your chart? For example, in my chart, if we take one of them random, if we take Mars in Gemini, in the 3rd house, it's about where am I curious? In the house of communication. The sign of communication in the house of communication and of taking knowledge and bringing to the people, which I hope I do for all of us here on the internet. So take a look at your chart, try to see the placements you have, try to see where the Gemini archetype is in your chart. So thank you for listening to me. And I'm very curious where your Gemini placements are. I'm very curious if you felt that duality in you, and I'm very curious if you are a good communicator and how do you use your brilliant mind. Thank you for watching, and see you next month.